Make holiday gatherings more delicious at Whole Foods Market, whether you're the host or the guest who aims to impress. Save now on baking essentials from 365 by Whole Foods Market. Need some extra help? Pick up crowd-pleasing flatbreads that are ready to heat, or build a lovely charcuterie board with sales on specialty cheeses and meats. Holiday wines and beers are also on sale, starting at $7.99. Host the perfect holiday party with Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Today on CityCast Chicago. Over the next month, I'm probably invited to no less than like 4 potlucks. I'm talking friends, family, for work, and I imagine many of y'all in them same holiday boats. So the truth is, I don't really feel like cooking for all of them events. I'm gonna need some places around Chicago where I can find the perfect dishes to bring. So you know I had to call it a team. Trust me, you want to take notes during this episode. It's Wednesday, November 29th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago is talking about. I am here today with our producer, Michelle Navarro, our executive producer, Simone Alicea, and the one and only newsletter editor, Sidney Madden. We all sort of broke up the city, and we're going to be looking for like our sort of best potluck menu from the restaurants nearby our houses, right? Maybe it's at that time you don't want to cook something, right? You want to pick from something available across the city. We're going to go through a few categories. We're going to be talking about an appetizer in your neighborhood or in your area, a main dish, a side dish, and a dessert. And, you know, it wouldn't be us if we didn't throw a little bit of competition in there, a little bit of voting. But before we jump into our categories, I want to go around the horn real quick. Simone, I'm going to start with you. What's your go-to dish? What's the thing if, you know, you had to pick one thing that you would bring to the potluck consistently that's not, because I know you're ice, cutlery kind of G, but if you had to bring a food item, what's like your go-to?
I'm trying to tell you, the ice and the cutlery, like you will
win the
potluck.
You put your hat on
napkins, your paper plate, whatever it is. Like you. Okay, if I got to pick an actual food item, you know, I like. If I'm cooking, I like to bring anything I can make kind of big in one pot and serve. So, for example, I did a Friendsgiving where I made stuffing because I could make it in one of those like tins, you know, those disposable tins. I didn't have to dirty a pan or be worried that I was going to lose my pan or whatever. And so it's just easy. It's serve yourself. It's filling. It's nourishing. It's very tasty. I also am that person who will bring the vegetable tray because everyone always forgets to bring vegetables. So that would be my second choice.
I like the one pot idea though. Sidney, what about you? What are you going to bring to the potluck more times than not?
Definitely a dessert. I have a sweet tooth. I like to share that with other people. And I like it too because it's not a lot of pressure. Like it's not really expected. I would never want to bring a main dish. That's not me. I'm like the flaky friend. So showing up with dessert that like may or may not get there, perfect.
Or may or may not get eaten, right? By the time you get to the end, you know, people might just be taking it home. So you ain't even got to look at their face. Do you have a go-to that you like to make? What's like the one you could probably make it in your sleep?
I've made a lot of chocolate chip cookies. Okay. I don't need to look at a recipe for that. And that's easy, classic, simple.
I love it. Michelle, what about you? What's your go-to item?
I'm definitely gonna make a pasta. So I feel like my go-to will be like a creamy tomato pasta or like even a mac and cheese. My best friend Shalowa, shout out her mom Vanetta. She gave me her mac and cheese recipe. So I'd be taking that.
You pawn it off as your own. I mean, you gave respect and you gave credit here, but you always give credit. Okay.
Yeah, this is Vanetta's. So I always let people know. But yeah, I feel like a pasta, it kind of falls in Simone's like one pot rule because, you know, just throw it all in there. So yeah, that's usually what I like to take.
All right, so between what y'all got, I feel like I got to go with a main. I was going to go with the one pot rule and just do mashed potatoes.
You've got big main dish energy, Jacoby. Let's be real here.
Big main dish energy.
But I think one that's like super easy is just like chicken quarters, right? Most people that I go to a potluck with, they don't mind some chicken quarters. easy to do in a big batch, easy to marinate, easy to throw into an oven in like a big aluminum pan, double up the pans. And then we go. Now we got chicken, we got stuffing, we got Vanetta's mac and cheese, and we got some chocolate chip cookies. I mean, between the four of us, we got a little potluck. Look at us.
There it is. Go. That's the whole meal. We got it.
I'm so hungry already.
Chicago is blessed with an abundant of restaurants, of bakeries, of little grocery stores. And so if you had to, right, step away from the kitchen, obviously the city has plenty of options. So each of us sort of took an area in the city and we're going to build our menu from there. But we're going to start with appetizers. And Michelle, I'm going to start with you. How you getting the party started off? What's your appetizer?
For appetizer, I would definitely check out Lotus Banh Mi. It's on the near west side. They have a couple other locations, I think like downtown, little north side, but I've been to the near west side one. They have a tray of egg rolls or like garden spring rolls, shrimp spring rolls from like $40 to $50.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like that's a good deal. And also just like you could get the garden spring rolls and for like a vegetarian option, but like who doesn't love egg rolls or like spring rolls? They're easy to grab. You just call in and before and you can just like pick them up and hold.
A whole tray, dude. That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna grab about 2 or 3 throughout the night.
Right. And there's like, you could get like veggie, shrimp, or just like vegetable, shrimp, or just egg roll. So I think like to me, like I love a good spring roll.
I love that.
Nah, that's a good starter. I'm a sucker for a good egg roll or a good spring roll.
I love that it's got a vegetarian option too.
See, we're going to move on to you. What is your appetizer option?
Okay, so I struggled with this one because the rest of my menu is so good and I did this one last. But for the appetizer, I just think like a simple charcuterie board, you can't go wrong with it. Just little salami, little cheese. And I was thinking where to get it. So Italy has different options. So you can just buy a pack that they've already made for you. Simple, easy. That ranges from like $40 to $90, which is a little expensive. But if you walked around the grocery store, right, they have that grocery store component to it. You can just do a little DIY charcuterie board. They have a class to teach you how to make a charcuterie board because I watched a relative try to do like the salami rose this weekend. I wasn't going to do that.
I love that.
I love how you threw in a little class in there.
That's what I was finna
like,
say.
That's so
I was
Sydney.
like, mugs be rolling their ass at me for being extra. But she was just like, I mean, you can do your DIY, you can buy the pre-made, or they got a class for you. Yeah, that's you moved early. You moving with that one, Sid. That was a good one.
I know your strengths, Jacoby, and I know my strengths. And I had to lean into my strengths a little more. So we gave tiers for the people, depending what level they're at.
No, that was fire. That was fire. That's a good one.
Thanks.
Simone, what about you? How you getting the party started? What's the apps? What's the hors d'oeuvres?
Appetizers have got to be my favorite part of any meal, to be honest. I just think I love finger foods. I love anything that you can take little bites of. But these were brought to a party that I was at recently, and they were such a hit. And I was like, that's such a good idea. I have to remember this. And they were Bavarian pretzels from Paulina Market in Roscoe Village. So these are like really nice, big pretzels. They are so good. They're very breakable. They are about $7 each, but they're quite big. I mean, 4 people could easily share one and feel pretty good about that as a starter. You get a little mustard on the side, or if you're feeling really good, you might melt some cheese that you can dip, right? And I feel like it's cooler than just bringing bread too, than just like bringing a French loaf or something. So Bavarian pretzels.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice.
I love a good pretzel.
If we ever get to the point where we made this menu just for ourselves, I think we're off to a really hot start. If I walked into a party and the options off the back was charcuterie, Bavarian pretzels, and a spring roll egg roll tray,
that's solid.
Honestly, you might not even get to mine. You might not even get to
what
my
was yours,
options.
Jacoby? What was your appetizer?
So I'm heading over to Majani in South Shore, and I'm going with the black eyed pea fritters. Right, it's ground black eyed peas, lightly fried, and served with a choice of sauces. You can get the barbecue, you can get the plum habanero, or you can get the mango habanero. And if you look at a picture of it, it kind of looks like a falafel, right? It looks like these little small balls. So it's something that you wouldn't feel bad putting maybe 2, 3, even 4 on your plate and getting down. I love me some good black eyed peas. And Majani is known for being a vegan soul food restaurant. And so even their other options, like they have these beer kebabs with this like an Ethiopian spice rubbed rib with grilled pineapple served with mango habanero, but obviously it's meatless ribs. So those would be my options. I if I could only bring one, it'd be the black eyed pea fritters. If I could do both, I'd also bring those kebabs as well. 60 for a half pan, about 115 for a full pan.
So I think that means we're at the voting section, right, Jacoby?
Yes, we are at the point where we will vote between our black eyed pea fritters. We've got our Bavarian pretzels. We've got our egg roll spring rolls, and we've got our charcuterie board with, a potential class if you're interested. I will start with you, Michelle. Who you voting for?
I will definitely have to go with Sydney because I love charcuterie. I think everyone loves charcuterie. And the fact that you have a little class, like, in there, like, a whole little experience, like, I kind of want to go now. So you got me.
I think you've made a great choice today, Michelle. Thanks for your vote.
Simone, your turn. Who are you voting for?
I am actually voting for Michelle. I think getting a whole tray, I think it's like a great price point. I just think the options for veggie or meat are great. And you can also choose different dipping sauces. And I love a dipping sauce. So
I do love a good dipping sauce.
Sydney,
who are you voting for right now? It is 1-1 between you and Michelle. Where's your vote going, Sid?
It's actually going to Simone. So I don't know how we're going to decide this round.
I have to break it up. Oh my God, my vote picks the winner.
As soon as she said pretzels, I was like,
you was in for it?
I was like, that would be so good right now. It would be like a little salty, get a little spicy mustard. Oh, divine.
Wow. I love a good pretzel, and I'm down for some egg rolls and some spring rolls. Honestly, the fact that you can come up with your own for a charcuterie board, it really does fit the individual. It's an open enough category that I know as somebody who I'm not too hip on, I don't really love a bunch of different cheeses. I'm pretty basic with the cheese. Give me a little mozzarella, give me a little Gouda, but I'm gonna go crazy with the meat selection. I'm gonna go crazy with the grapes and the crackers and the extra little veggies and fruits. And then come on, give me some little jams, some little honeys, some little spreads on the sides, and you got me. And you got me. So see it, the minute you had me before the class, but the class took me over the top. So we're gonna get this first round to the one and only Sidney Madden, y'all.
Can we get some good sound effects going?
Ding, 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 ding.
We could end the episode now. I'm so happy. I don't care if I win the rest. I'm so happy. Thanks, guys.
Make holiday gatherings more delicious at Whole Foods Market. Whether you're the host or the guest who aims to impress, save now on baking essentials from 365 by Whole Foods Market. Need some extra help? Pick up crowd-pleasing flatbreads that are ready to heat, or build a lovely charcuterie board with sales on specialty cheeses and meats. Holiday wines and beers are also on sale, starting at $7.99. Host the perfect holiday party with Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Moving on to our next category, right? We know we got the appetizer, but now we got to talk about main dishes, right? Oftentimes a little bit of a centerpiece. This time we're going to start with you, Simone. What is going to be your main dish?
So Sun Hua on Broadway here in Uptown is famous for its whole duck. Now, you cannot get the whole duck takeout sort of presented the way it would be at the restaurant, but you can get a family-sized entree of duck with pickled ginger and pineapple. And so that is my pick for mains. So that's going to be $19. It's just under $20. And it's a family size, still a family.
How many people does it serve?
It
what
doesn't
family?
Say. It might be like a family of 4 or a family of 2. You might need to get 2.
Okay.
Ducks aren't that big. Remember, they're not as big as turkeys. And I just think duck, it's just one of those things that makes you feel a little more elevated, like when you're having duck. So yeah, that's my pick for mains.
I love that for you. Good for you. Get you a little duck in there. Sidney, we're gonna come to you next. It's main time, right? That entree, maybe a lot of people are gonna be ready to get their hands on. What is your main dish?
So this is actually the main dish and the side dish because I was trying to appease the vegetarians as well. So I've walked past this place my whole life and I had no idea it existed. It's called Oasis Cafe. It's in the Loop and it's actually in the back of a jewelry store in Jewelers Row, which shocked me. It's all halal. So for the vegetarians, we're going to do a hummus tray, falafel, and tabbouleh. And then for the meat eaters, we're going to do shish kebab and then chicken shawarma. And that is going to be a lot of money. I think maybe 150, but I didn't properly add it up. That is a guesstimate.
No, I like that. I mean, the story alone, the entire time you saw our faces, we was like, you're going further and further. All right, you're in the Loop. Now you're in a jewelry store on Jewelers Row. Now you're in the back of the jewelry store. And there's a whole menu sitting back there.
Exactly.
Where's the advertising for it? Is it at the front? Is it on the street?
It has a very small sign from what I could tell from a video I had to watch. Like I said, I walked past it my whole life and I was like, where is this place? But I was watching a video and they said people call them 4 to 5 times a day. Like, where are you? And then when you pull up and people are like, oh, where'd you get this? You're like, inside a jewelry store. Like, it's a great story.
That's great, actually. That's actually
that was a nice bonus right there.
Yeah.
No
there you go.
Yeah.
That's
like
good.
having a story when you like, it's like immediately party chatter. Like, that's great. That's great. You've got a cocktail question.
For people you don't know that well.
Yeah.
Little small talk.
That's really good,
That
Sid.
is
That's really good.
No.
I told you guys.
It came to work. I'm going to go next, Michelle, so you can go last. I think the joke in Chicago is that we will jerk anything. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so we couldn't have a potluck, at least without some Caribbean food, some Jamaican food there. And so for my main, I'm going to Caribbean Jerk Palace. And unlike Sid, I didn't think about the vegetarians, but I did think about the pescatarians because I'm going to get a tray. And there's 3 Caribbean Jerk Palaces, but you can either go to the one in Washington Heights over on 10 Tray, some people call it 103rd, or you can go to the one, I think, off like 79th and Ashburn. And I'm going to get a pan of curry chicken. I'm going to get a pan of curry shrimp. And so, I mean, this is cooked in the peppers. If you know that good Jamaican curry, your fingers are going to be left yellow by the end of it. Pairs well with rice or any kind of sides you could put it with. But I hit the group chat and I was like, hey, what's y'all favorite jerk spot in the city? And Caribbean Jerk Palace is the one that got them off. And so it's hood certified too. That's all I'm going to say. It's hood certified.
What's the cost on that?
For a curry chicken and a curry shrimp pan, you're looking at $99.40. If you wanted an even larger pan, if your potluck is family reunion size, you're looking closer to about $144. So not terrible.
You guys are planning potlucks for like very big gatherings. I'm planning for I feel like I was going for something that's much smaller.
I was thinking 15, 20.
I was imagining like a dozen or less. But that's another thing to keep in mind. That's another thing to keep in mind too. We didn't set that ahead of time of like how big this was supposed to be. So
chicken spreads well over about 15 to 20 people and has good reheat value. And now, Michelle, take us home. What is your main dish? What's that entree?
So I chose Coco's Grill in Westtown, which is also Mediterranean food. So I know, Sydney, didn't you say chicken shawarma?
Yeah, mine was also like Mediterranean, yeah.
Great minds think alike because I also chose chicken shawarma for a tray of also 8 to 10 people. It's around $72. But it comes with pita, tomatoes, and onions. Slowly roasted, sliced up, ready to go in a tray, and it's gluten-free.
Come on.
So I think I get extra points for gluten-free.
I was going to say, well, that's what you think, but I guess we'll decide. Sorry, that was too much.
No, that was perfect.
No, see, you got one under your belt already. Go ahead.
You got it.
You said, I mean, you would think, but don't work like that.
For $10 cheaper, you can also do just chicken kebab. So it's like at $63. And then for $10 cheaper than that, so at $53, you can do Coco's Famous Chicken, which is like marinated, baked bone, Greek-inspired chicken, slightly charred.
Oh, nice. So we got some duck. We got some curry chicken. We had a falafel and hummus plate, and then some orders of chicken shawarma around. Again, a fantastic mix. If I showed up to the party and these was my 4 options, I would feel well taken care of. We thought of some vegetarian options. We thought of some pescatarian options. And then, of course, for our meat lovers, there are some options there as well. Michelle, we're going to start with you. Main dish, which one grabbed you?
I think I'm going to have to go with that Yours.
That
What was
curry
it called?
chicken.
The curry chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to go. I was getting the imagery of yellow fingers. I was like,
It
damn.
fall off the bone. It fall right off the bone. The curry chicken is nasty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. So I'm gonna vote for you.
Simone, we gonna come to you next. What you going with?
Oh, this is so hard. I think I gotta go with Sid in the story. I think that element of like having the party chatter really did it for me. It was a really, really tough decision.
So Simone went with Sid. Michelle went with your boy. Sydney, what's your choice?
This is a situation where I can't vote for myself. So I'm voting for the next best thing, which would be Michelle, since we had very similar menus. So
That's
congrats,
a good choice.
Michelle.
Thank you.
So right now we are back at are we at the same thing again? Let's see.
Except no one has voted for mine yet. So if you vote for mine, it will be a 4-way tie.
And this was very real. That's what I was voting for. I think the family duck with the pickled ginger and the pineapple sounds good to me. Like if I saw that at a potluck, I'd give you more credit than you deserve, probably, right? Because it's like, I mean, you just found a restaurant, you picked it, but the fact that you brought duck and it wasn't chicken or shrimp or even, it's like lamb to me. It's like you go out the way and you brought lamb to the thing or duck. I'm not even going to ask how much the duck cost. The crazy thing, it was the cheapest of all of us.
That's
and
true.
yet I'm going to be like, not you wanting to splurge on me, not you wanting to spend money on me. So for the main, it looked like we got a 4-way tie. Everybody got a vote from everybody. And that's just because we all got some fantastic options. So that's a good one. No main dish is complete without some good sides, though, y'all. And so, Simone, you'd already bought duck to the party. Now we got to see what's your side dishes.
Okay, so no holiday was ever complete for me growing up if there wasn't some form of plantains. My mother puts plantains in her stuffing. Like plantains have always been key. And so I was deciding to go back to Borinquen in North Center, Puerto Rican restaurant where we had was the originator of the jibarito. Go back and listen to our jibarito episode to learn more about that. And they offer, all the great stuff. They offer arroz and habichuelas, but they also have maduros, which are the sweet fried plantains. And they have mofongo, which is like a plantain ball in like a chicken soup. It's just, it is good for the soul. Those start at, they're individual portions and those start at like $4. But, depending on how big your gathering is, you could call ahead to see if maybe they'll do a bigger portion for you. But that just was very like nostalgic for me. And I think also, again, it's like a nice alternative to the typical kind of potatoes or the breads or any other starches that you might be seeing on the table.
I almost made Caribbean Jerk Palace my side so I could go with their plantains, but I ended up going with them for my main. So we was thinking we was aligned there. Michelle, we're gonna come to you next. What is your side dish? What's coming along with that shawarma?
So extremely similar to Simone. I chose Jibaritos y Más in Logan Square. Literally like the exact same thing. I wrote down rice and beans, but in capital letters, but plantains. So like you can get a tray of arroz con gandules. Also, you beans for like $35 for a tray. Serves 10 to 12 people. And I also said maduros, sweet plantains, or tostones, so like the fried plantains, for $40. And so there you go. Again, great minds think alike, I guess. And they also have yuca al mojo, which is like, I love yuca, and it's also kind of like, I guess it's a starch too.
Yeah, it's like a
Is that
root.
true?
It's like a root plant.
Yeah, a
kind of.
root. Yeah. So that's something too that I think is really good. But what I was listening to, and I was like, "Damn!" Again, sound like I copying people.
Y'all might cancel each other out. Two albums very similar in the category, siphoning all votes from one another.
Yeah.
But again, you pull up and it's just multiple plantains from multiple places across the city. If you can't appreciate that thing, honestly, you probably weren't invited to my potluck to begin with. I'm gonna just be real with you. Anti-plantainers cannot show up to the party, can't come to the Fifi. Sydney, what about you? What's your side dish?
Like I said, the main dish, side dish was combined. So I got a lot of hummus, a lot of falafel, a lot of tabbouleh.
A lot of rollover.
And that's the point of a Friendsgiving and a potluck. Because for one person to plan all these dishes it's not fair. It's too hard. I like got to the side dish. I was like, I don't know what to do. So I'm sitting out this round and yeah, back to you, Jacoby.
Hey, well, I got you. We're going real Southern style with mine. And we heading to Pullman for Lexington Betty's Smokehouse. And let's be real. No good Sunday dinner, family dinner, friends dinner, potluck is complete without some Gouda mac and cheese and some candy yams. The Gouda mac and the candy yams. We talking $35 half pans, $70 full pans. And so those are mine. Shout out to Lexington Betty. I really was between the main dishes. Should I go with them for their barbecue? But you know what? Hey, they get a lot of love for the barbecue. Award-winning pitmaster over there. But you should not sleep on them sides either.
That Gouda mac and cheese, I've had it and can confirm it's really, really good. It's really
your face
tasty.
Immediately when I said it, it took you back. It took you back
It
to an
really
episode,
did.
to a day, and to a day and time.
It really, really did.
Here we are at our sides. We got a whole bunch of plantains at the party. We got some falafel, some hummus, some tabbouleh, and we got some, a little mac, a little candy yams. Sidney, where's your vote going?
To you, 100%. You said Lexington. I was like, oh yes, I've wanted to go to this place for so long.
Michelle, what about you? What you grabbing?
It's tricky.
This is tough, right?
Because the Gouda mac and cheese sounds it's Gouda and mac and cheese. Like, I haven't had it, but now I kind of want to like get it after work. So that has me thinking. But then, like, Sid, I kind of want to go with the one that's most similar to me.
Do that.
So,
do that.
Because plantains is plantains. So I'm going to go with Simone.
Oh, you with the Sid route.
That was a fake
It
out.
was, but she went with your logic, not with your choice.
Damn.
You really, she was like, I'm getting another vote here. Simone, where are you going?
I am sort of struggling with the same thing that Michelle was struggling with. And I think I gotta also pick Michelle's. I just think that like that's what I would want to see at a potluck if I was there.
Yeah, y'all look good for this one. This is a nice one. This is one I thought I had in the bag. I thought me and Chef Dominique Leach was gonna take this one home with the candy and hams, mac and cheese, but I cannot vote for myself. Now I got to choose between Hiberitos y Mas and Bodega. And oh my God, who's plantains? Which means I'm going with Sidney. Because it's too difficult. I can't choose between two servers.
A pity vote's a pity vote. I'll take it.
But I can grab just a clean plate of falafel hum. Like, I love me some good hummus. So I'm going to go and grab that one. I think our listeners are going to reach out to us and say, y'all too nice, y'all too kind. And honestly not. There's a lot of strategy going on to this vote, and I didn't expect. It was like, I got to pick something similar to me. I'm like, I'm not splitting hairs here. Y'all not getting a victory on my back. All right, let's bring it home. Desserts are important for this. And I'm actually going to get us started off here. And the place I'm going to is not too far from my house. It's about 2 blocks away on 53rd Street. It's Cedar's Mediterranean Kitchen. It's a Palestinian family-owned restaurant. And I went to them for the dessert. The honey glazed baklava, right? That honey glaze on top really got me. I love some crushed walnuts, some crushed pecans, especially if they're a little bit sweetened. So that's what we're going with the dessert. Let's kick it over to you, Sid. You said it early on that you feel like bringing a dessert is a little stress-free, but it is also memorable. It's one of the last things people might touch. What you bring into the luck.
Okay, so this is my time to shine, I feel. So I'm actually going to go to 3 different places.
What?
Also because I'm indecisive. Oh, is that not allowed?
No, you can do whatever you want. We just get to say, what are you talking about?
Okay, first, D'Amato's Bakery in West Loop. It's been here for like 50 plus years, this old Italian bakery. Again, it's a place I've passed by my whole life, but just have never stopped in. They have a half sheet pan of tiramisu or a full sheet pan, and then they also have assorted cookies, and you can request other assorted pastries, and that sounds delicious to me. The next place I want to stop at is to get these custard tarts from Ming Hin Cuisine. So I'm going to go to the location in Lakeshore East, very close to where I grew up, but they also have locations in South Loop, Chinatown, and I think the suburbs. And then the last place that I'm the most excited about, the Donut Vault in River North. I did grow up going there. It's been a long time since I've been there, but we have a very dedicated reader and listener, Julio Leon, who works there and frequently invites us to try his donuts. So I want to pull up, and Julio can just give me 12 donuts and I will bring it to the Friendsgiving. I will pay him, obviously,
I'm a
in
sucker
case that
for
wasn't
a good
obvious.
story, G. And you just do it every time, Sid. You just like I passed by. She heard that she realized that pass by it as a kid line worked on us. And you're like, let me run that bitch back. Let me run that one back.
It's true. I'm not making stuff up.
Oh, I know you're not. I just love that you was like, you know what? This is working on them. Let me remind them again. I also grew up next to this 50-year-old establishment.
On the way to get a Christmas tree too, if that means anything to anyone.
Hey, I think desserts lean themselves the most to grab and go and sort of like stopping in, picking them up, getting up out of there. Sure, some of these places you might have to pre-order. You don't want to end up like my mom over Thanksgiving in a brown sugar bakery situation. That line was 2 blocks long, and my mama a gangster. She said, I'll get them on Tuesday next week. I'll get them next week. But I think desserts are nice, sort of boom, grab them. They're sort of out for display. And so I think going to 3 places, sure, extra. But you know me, big fan of extra. Big fan of the extra. I did my dessert. Sia hit her with her dessert. Michelle, we're going to come to you next. Sweet tooth. A lot of us got it. How you going to help us out?
So I would go to Panaderia Nuevo León in Pilsen. They got conchas, sweetbreads, empanadas, cookies, muffins, cakes, donuts, pastries, and brownies. You can also order a whole flan a little bit ahead of time, or a whole cake. And then also get kind of like some vegan options in there, because they definitely have, vegan breads and sweets available.
So you went to one place, but you gave us the whole menu. So I see y'all strategy.
Exactly.
Overwhelm the listener.
Because you can just walk in, grab a tray, and just grab and go. You pick the different things you want. It's a variety. Like I said, vegan options. So you don't have to worry about having to, have some people feel left out or anything like that. So yeah, it's like a easy, laid back way, really affordable to just pick up a bunch of pastries.
Great job, y'all two. Great job. Simone, bring us home. Were you like me? You stuck with one thing? You going with multi-dessert option like Sid, Michelle? What you doing?
Jacoby, we learned this from you. This is we.
Yeah.
What is it? The chickens have come home to get
roost.
barbecued.
So the place that I'm going is a little bit more upscale. It's a little bit more expensive, but I just had a really excellent experience with them recently. This is Genevieve's Bakery in Lakeview. Genevieve's Bakery is owned by a trans Filipina woman who incorporates a lot of those flavors into her cupcakes. And there are like 1,000,001 flavors. If you're pre-ordering a dozen cupcakes, it's like $50, a little more than that. But there are just some really, really interesting ones. I think there's some ube cupcakes. I'm looking at this chocolate pistachio. There are raspberry lemonade, Kit Kat heart. There's carrot cake. Like, I don't know, any flavor. I got some vegan cupcakes from the bakery that were met with very rave reviews.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for cupcakes.
I'm trying to tell you the other nice thing about cupcakes, and I think yours has this too, Jacoby, with the baklava, and yours too, Michelle. Is like, I think at a potluck, it's nice when the desserts are individual and it's not like slices of something. I just think it just makes it easier for cleanup and like storage, and like it's just, it's just an easier time all around.
Well, I kind of showed my hand on that. I'm going with Simone's. Genevieve. Honestly, it's Sydney's reaction as well. When Simone said it, I was like, I've never been, but like, damn.
Now I gotta go.
As soon as she said the name, she was like, there we go. Spades. There we go. You just dropped the ace of spades on us. Here we go. Simone, what about you? Where are you giving your vote?
I really don't want to reward Sydney for her extra ness.
Why the hell not? We've rewarded Jacoby so many times in the past.
So many times.
I try, but if you listen back, I try very hard also not to reward Jacoby for his extra ness.
I'm gonna have to listen back.
But that said, all this to say, Sid, I'm voting for you. You get my vote, mostly because the donut vault story was very good, but truly it's the tiramisu. If you're pulling up to the potluck with tiramisu for everybody, that is so classy. That's like so above and beyond for most potluck desserts. And like chef's kiss, just perfect.
I love when restaurants have a whole drawer for tiramisu. Like when they pull out the drawer and they just scoop it and they just close the drawer. That's pretty dope. All right, Michelle, you next. What you grabbing?
This is tough. Like I'm in between the baklava and the tiramisu because I love tiramisu.
Yes, you do.
But I don't know. Baklava is like people don't be. I don't know. It might like
no. People sleep. People sleep for sure.
Yeah. Like I don't have it that often. So like if you bring that, I'm gonna be like, wow. Like I'm gonna be really impressed. So I think I'm gonna go with that.
Come on, there we go. Man, Sid's reactions are priceless each and every time because I mean, I've seen the competitive spirit on like the little mini golf course. I've seen it in these episodes, and it is really, it's like truly there and in a way that I appreciate. I love it. Okay, so where is your final vote going?
Simone, 100%. I've gotten the last 2 birthday cakes from Genevieve's. It's what I think I miss the most about living in Lakeview. It's not the lake, it's Genevieve's Bakery. And I've gone there and they don't even have forks because sometimes they run out. So I just eat it with the coffee stirrer.
Mm-hmm.
And just to get it down because it's so good. So Simone, 100% excellent choice.
Ooh, the visual on that was perfect. It's just the coffee stirrer.
So good.
That means with 2 votes, I won the dessert round. Sidney won the appetizer round, and our mains and sides were tied among the 4 of us, which means I think maybe we can vote on who we thought had the best overall menu.
Simone had duck. Simone pulled up with plantains, also pulled up with the
pretzels.
Cupcakes and had the pretzels. Sia had the shawarma with the hummus, with the falafel, with the tabbouleh. Came through with the 3 bakery, like with the 3 bakery stop. And then what was your appetizer again?
Charcuterie.
Oh, and then you had the class.
A lot of class in that one.
I'm really torn here, y'all. I'm gonna call the first ever draw on my behalf.
No,
I don't know.
No, that's not how this works.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm not gonna lie. You guys both had great menus. A lot of choices, a lot of variety.
I'm just thinking pure flavors, my dog. Pure flavors. What tastes better? Individually, that duck and them cupcakes got me, but it's like a plate on its. All right, I'm gonna have to get this one to see it. The duck almost pulled me back, but I'm gonna have to get this one to see it. I agree. The amount of options they're just. I feel overwhelmed, and I get to customize my charcuterie board off top. So,
good choice. Proud of you,
Michelle. You gonna split us down again?
I'm gonna have to give it to Sydney. I'm still stuck
you
on the
guys
class.
Made me so happy today.
The 3 dessert options was extra, but I appreciate it. There's effort. I appreciate it. You even threw in a little listener's comment in there, like included a listener. Yeah. I think the visuals, the storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I'd be lying if I said tears didn't come to my eyes. This feels really good.
Oh my God. Oh, this was honestly, I needed this, y'all. Check our show notes to get our full potluck menus. I don't know if we're going to have a poll, but if you want to tell us your personal favorite, you always can hit us up at 773-780-0246. Leave your name, your neighborhood, and your preferred menu. I want to give another huge thank you to the team. Shout out to our newsletter editor and winner, Sidney Madden.
My cheeks hurt from smiling. It's been a pleasure to be here, guys.
Shout out to producer Michelle Navarro.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really loved being the final vote.
And shout out to our executive producer, Simone Alicea, who I want to give you another shout out, Simone. That duck was in them cupcakes, G.
Wasn't enough, though. Wasn't enough.
if I could only get a couple of things from all of our menu, I might. She was like, none of this shit. Stop it. Let me say my thank you and let me get out of here.
Thanks, Jacoby.
Before I let you go, Chicago's winter overnight parking ban goes into effect this Friday. I know you want to avoid them tickets, so make sure you head to chicago.citycast.fm for all the info you need. That's also where you can subscribe to our Hey Chicago newsletter and catch up on old podcast episodes you might have missed. I know what you're thinking. Kobe, I ain't never missed none of the episodes. I'm sure a bunch of y'all are not thinking that because you either came along like fairly recently or, even in like the last year and a half. But hey, it's a whole bunch of episodes there if you want to listen. I know. I'm supposed to be doing some good news. This Sunday, the 46th annual Chicagoland Toys for Tots motorcycle parade will kick off at the Dan Ryan Woods off 83rd and Western. The route will go 20 miles north on Western. Even if you ain't got a motorcycle, you can donate a toy. You can find the link in the show notes. As always, we appreciate you for listening and reading. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow morning. Now, if you got a quick moment and you're still listening to this point, please rate and review the podcast wherever you listen. Helps other people find us. At least that's what it said in the script. I'm not sure if it actually does, but hey, they wrote it, so I read it. Simone always going to find a way to plug episodes. Y'all know it.